Hello, welcome back for our 5th episode of Champions of the Fae. I'm excited to start playing this again. Had a little bit of a break there, and I definitely missed it. So I'm going to say a few words about our sponsors, and then I'll hand it on over to Andy to do our intro so we can get going. So first off, one thing I want to mention is the Children Champions of the Fae supplement. They are not a sponsor, but they are one of the resources that we're using for this campaign. It's got a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of different ancestries, and some subclasses that you can do. So definitely go check that out. That's right there in chat. And then our sponsors are Fundamental RPG. It's a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play any style of game that you'd like, from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. It looks like this. You can pick up a copy on Amazon, or if you prefer a PDF, you can grab that at ko-fi.com/Raven, like it's spelled at the bottom of the screen. Also at ko-fi.com, you can find the Quick Play Guide, which is actually free. So you can download that as a PDF. It'll run you through the very basic mechanics of the game and through levels 1 through 5 out of a 30-level system. So definitely go check that out. It's free. And then our other sponsor is Die Hard Dice. They sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories, and just awesome company full of really cool people. So definitely go check them out at dieharddice.com. If you use the code FUNRPG, all capital letters, you can get 10% off of your entire order. I definitely recommend checking out the Embers Kazan set. Got the set here that they sent me. They are one of the prettier sets of dice I have ever used. They've got little dragon scales on them. They're nice, heavy metal set, so definitely go check that out. It's the one that I'm using tonight for anything that doesn't require Roll20. And I think that is it, so I will go ahead and pass it on over to Andy.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being here with us. So we are going to jump back into our recap in just a little bit, because we had a doozy of a last battle that we're going to be recovering from right now. But before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves a little bit and remind everybody who you're playing tonight. Who is in our party tonight? Let's go ahead and start over with Zan. Who are you, and who are you playing with us?
Yeah, I'm Zan. I do a lot of cool tabletop stuff with some cool tabletop folks all over the internet. Mostly I am working on doing some homebrew creation right now and doing some cool work in therapeutic tabletop games, which is really cool, and hopefully I will have a little bit more to say about that in the near future with some very good news. Also, and yes, I'm going to be playing Baskin, who is a Ascendant Dragon monk and just a general people person, a joy to be around, and always, ready to take what life throws in stride.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, we love Baskin. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately tonight, X the Transient, our own Amira Ash, will not be joining us tonight. She has some other things that needs to be taken care of tonight, but let's move right along to Timberdoodles. Who are you, and who are you playing with us tonight?
Yeah, I'm Emily. I'm at Timberdoodles on Twitter. I do digital art, and I am playing Reverie, a swashbuckler rogue, who is very happy that he didn't get chewed on too much during that fight, and is, as much as he probably won't say it too much, happy that everybody is still alive. I might be a little bit slow this game, but I am excited to see where we're going.
Me too. Thank you so much. Moving down, we do have Paraprofessional. Who are you, and who do you have for us tonight?
Hello. Well, right now I'm sort of just floating around the internet, not doing too much right now, and I've learned to stop announcing things when I think I can get them done, instead of when they're actually gonna get done. Tonight I'm playing Dram Loomis, a former grave digger and also sort of a mortician's assistant turned rogue, who's sort of just been traveling around the Fae Plains. but he's a really nice guy.
Excellent. Let's move over to our top. Archival Dustbun. Who are you and who are you playing with us tonight?
Hey there. I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet, queer and trans worker and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. And I play Ruliuela, who is a Selkie cold water sorcerer, both race and class from the Children's and Champions of the Fae supplement. And I spent most of last battle just moving people around, moving enemies around where we wanted them away from people, moving allies into better positioning. That has become sort of her job in all of our fights, and it's fun.
Excellent. Yeah, you're figuring out what to do with you in a fight is really, really interesting for me as well. I'm very into it. And finally, Raven, who are you? Tell us a little bit more about yourself and who you're playing for us tonight.
Yeah, hi, I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for The Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, most of which are tabletop related or adjacent, including voice acting and writing, game design. I also do sensitivity reading and editing, and just a whole ton of stuff. You can find all my stuff at my Linktree, which I'm going to throw into chat here. There we go. And I play Jinx, who's a sprite. She's about 6 inches tall and rides around on a raven. She's how to describe Jinx? A bit like if you crossed like Pinkie Pie with like Nora from Ruby. She's a lot of fun to play. Her whole thing is basically ridding the world of undead for her patron. She's a sort of a coffee lock warlock sorcerer. So she does a lot of like sniping and supporting the party. She's a lot of fun to play.
And a lot of fun to watch happen. All right, wonderful. And I am Andy Martinez Tweets over on Twitter. I am everybody else and everything else, all of the rest of the world, and all of the problems and maybe solutions sometimes that come along in our players' ways. And sometimes the thing that almost gets everybody killed, like what happened last time. So let's go ahead and do a little recap, and then let's jump right in to where we are. So last time we have been walking through the forests of Elassidir, after being talked to by King Oberyn and being told that the realms that were individual in the Feywilds are now all smushed together. And he has no idea why, and he's panicking about it a little bit. After being told to go off and investigate this problem for him, you trekked through the forests of Elassidir and eventually found your way into a couple of new companions, the centaurs that you found along the way, and found yourself in Jinx's hometown, the city of Eris, which is currently where we will find ourselves again. But after finding yourself into our city with our fellow sprites of the forests and exploring around for a little bit, having some drinks and talking to the other centaurs that we found there, combining those two groups of centaurs, each with their own kind of different portrayals of their clan and tribe, eventually grouped up back together and got drunk. Found out that Jinx, one of your siblings, is actually lost. So you all went on an adventure following Jinx, your other brother, Jet, who has found you, stumbled upon you in the Bindlestick Brewery, as he then led all of you to the Crystal Glaive, where after you found your brother, who was simply just watching some birds that he found, he was very interested in those. You were also ambushed from the water by some eelhounds, some kuatoas, and one particularly pesky goblin. After having quite a battle and nearly dying a few times, ultimately being okay, winning the fight, knocking out a few of their eelhounds, dispatching one of their kuatoas, you have all gathered up what you can, collected any souvenirs that you might have wanted from the fight itself, and traveled back to the city of Eris, where you are now walking back to that area, going back to the tree that is Sylvia the Dryad, a massive, massive tule tree that is 50, 60 feet wide alone, maybe even longer than that. Several people could be lined up at the base of this tree, much wider than it is tall. As you come back to the city of Iris, you can see that it's right where you left it, inside of the massive burn scar at the base of this tree, with some shops and houses sticking out of the side and some a little bit further the way in. Where would you like to go in this city? To maybe have a long rest or gather yourselves, or what do you want to do now?
It's a good question. I had a sudden thought of like, well, I guess Jinx could invite everyone to stay at her place, but then I realized that none of you would fit in her family house. So maybe the local Travelers Tavern.
Fair enough. As you all head back to the Bindlesticks Brewery, as Jet and your brother Jovi fly off, and as Jet turns away, he says to you, Jinx, okay, we'll be back probably. I'm going to bring him home, and then I gotta tell him you're here, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
I gotta say something. I mean, if I don't, he's gonna. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
You could always go meet your family.
Well, if I tell them they're here, that you're here, they're gonna come meet you, almost certainly. But if you want to, how do you want to play it? I'm gonna leave that one in your court. But if we go home first, he's gonna tell. He's stoked. Look at him, and you can see that Jovi is much smaller than even you are, and he is just buzzing around. He is thrilled that you are here.
Yeah, Jinx will just sort of sigh and nod and yeah, I guess that's fine. Just have him meet us at the tavern and I'll talk to the parents.
Okay, all right. Jovi, let's go. And they both fly off.
Tell them to bring a big cup, not one of the little thimble things, an actual real-size cup, please.
As you yell that at him, Jet turns around. I mean, I don't work there, but you could probably tell Lark, okay, bye. And they fly off. As you all now make it to the Bindlesticks Brewery, where you once again find the two sprites that were working there, Lark and his younger brother, Anthony, who you saw earlier in this day, only a few hours ago, as he did tell you that, promised to make you some treats, some cookies later. Still has not gotten to that part yet, still working the day shift. But both of those individuals are still hanging out at the Bindlesticks Brewery as you all enter the little meadow area where all of the tables are. You are currently still the only one here. It has been a few hours since you've been here the last time, or maybe not even a few hours, maybe an hour or two. But everyone is still, if they have a job, probably working it right now. So it's still a little bit early in the general gist of existence. What would you like to do? As you enter, Lark looks over. Oh, hey guy, you guys are back. Oh, you look. What happened?
Well,
It's been a rough morning.
yeah, there were some birds, and then fish people, and then lots of fighting. May have almost died. It's fine. I'm very hungry.
Okay. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. And Lark flies off for a couple of minutes. After a few minutes comes by, it takes a couple of trips, and he actually calls Ant over to help him out as well, as they both fly back and forth, delivering drinks and a couple of different fried mushrooms and things like that, little platters of them that You all now have snacking food and drinks in front of you. Okay, I should have done that first. My apologies. But you guys do look like shit. So, what the heck? You guys just were. What was going on? Or just drink. I mean, either one. Sorry.
Yeah, Jinx is just like got her mouth full and she's got like a drink in one hand and a big chunk of mushroom or something in the other hand. And she starts trying to talk, and then just looks over to Ruli and kind of gives a look like, you want to take this one?
She just pauses. She has a leg of one of those eel hounds, and she just pauses. These things attacked us, and yeah, they were trying to capture one of us, all of us. I'm not really sure. It was a very difficult fight. I'm very exhausted.
They were trying to capture one of you? All of you? What do you mean? Was it Jovi? Wait. Are you... One,
No.
2, 3. But they didn't. They didn't capture any of you? That's good. Jesus.
There was a goblin seemed to be the brains of the operation, if you could call it that.
Oh. Huh. I mean, I guess we have a few goblins that live in the forest, but eelhounds are definitely not from here. Are you sure they were... Do you know anything about them, where they were from?
In between bites, Jinx just says, not yet, but we did tie one up. We captured one.
Oh. Where'd you put him?
Where did we put them?
So...
It's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. So I don't know. You killed one of them. One of the Kuatoas
Mhm.
was dead. But everyone else got away. So you had one dead one. I don't know
Yeah.
if you wanted to do something with that.
Yeah, I used Spare the Dying on
Right.
them, like right before they actually like died.
So as you drag that essentially corpse back with you, it just right out there. Unless you put it somewhere else, you've just taken it with you.
Yeah, well, we'll just set the unconscious person like on one of the chairs. Jinx probably puts like a little like wide brimmed hat over their face or something. I don't know.
Oh, as like actually notices this thing that's in the corner. Gosh, that is wow. Woo, that's gnarly. I gotta be honest. Is he wet? No? Ooh, whoa. Oh boy.
There's nothing wrong with being wet.
No. Of course not. Of course not. That's not what I meant. I just personally am not. I wouldn't like that for myself. But hey, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm
they
glad
weren't.
so-
They weren't very nice. But
Yeah.
hopefully we can figure out who they were.
Ugh. Ugh. So this Kuto is a little bit even smaller than you, Bastion. Is about where they're standing. They look big and intimidating on the eelhound, but by themselves, they are not very big. They are about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 at like top max height. So now you have this little fish thing. It's over there. Yes.
Great. I think Baskin has, I don't think Baskin got a full leg like Ruli did, but definitely just picked up a little bit of flesh to kind of snack on and is just dipping it in this. If a sauce could smell like fire, it would smell like brimstone and hatred. And this dark green sauce that seems to kind of absorb the light that hits it. And he's just slowly dipping pieces of whatever piece of skin it is and just looking at the Kuatoa, waiting for it to wake up, handing a piece over to Lychee, who is likewise intently staring at this person who they are not being allowed to eat.
They are still passed out.
They're going to wake up
But yeah, they will.
eventually.
Okay. Wow. Well, stay here, chill as long as you need to. Take a rest, do whatever. Whew. Do you guys need potions?
Potions, yes. And Reverie has what looks like a nice piece of seared eelhound steak that he is eating. Yes, if you happen to have any healing potions, that would be delightful 3 hours ago. To be fair, that's a little bit our oversight.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't offer them. They are here, but I guess I can. Okay, so normally it's my dad's that do the whole potion making thing, and I do baking. But they exist. I have to go get them because they're out collecting new stuff right now. What are you looking for?
Well, even just a regular, potion of healing would be.
Okay. Nothing like super fancy, because I could guess, but
Like Reverie kind of looks at the others because
No, just healing potion.
he's used to a good old fashioned, healing potion.
okay.
Yeah. Things that keep us alive.
All right. Okay. I think we have a few of those in stock. Okay. I'll be right back. I'll go check. And he flies off. As he just disappears into the woods, actually. He doesn't even go back to the same place that he was getting the drinks and the food from. He goes further out into the trees a little bit. It takes him a couple of minutes. So if you wanted to chat amongst yourself, if you had anything. If not, he comes back within a few minutes. Okay. Well, we have a few. Let's see, how much do they normally sell these for? Okay, I'll give you 1, 2, 3. I'll give you 4 of them for what would that be? Carry the 2, do the we have 4 of them. How much money do you have? That's not what I should ask. We'll give you 4 of them for 150 gold. How's that?
Jinx just pulls out the symbol. I can't remember if it was a ring or a necklace or what she got from Oberon, but whatever it was, she takes that out and just like plops it on the table and is like, "Oh, just put it on Oberon's tab, and give yourself a nice tip too."
How do I? Is this? And he picks it up. Is this worth money? Do I keep this? Or
no, that's sort of the like that's like my badge that I'm authorized to do stuff on behalf of Oberon.
Oh, you have a line of credit from him? How's this work?
Well, I mean, he's sort of the king person, so it seems like his credit would be pretty good.
I mean, I agree. The thing is, these aren't. I think they'd like my dads would like money. I think. Make a persuasion check.
All right. 18.
Okay. There. Ooh. Okay. That's a. All right. Whew. How about 80? How about 80?
Do we actually out of character? Do we actually have gold?
You guys have so much money.
Oh, yeah.
I think you have so much money.
Gold.
Okay.
I will pay for these.
I have nothing on
Really
my character sheet for some reason for gold, so almost like
some of you didn't buy, I think, anything.
Same.
So some of you, it depends on the person.
Really just takes out the 80 gold Slides it over. There you go.
Okay.
It's well
okay.
worth it if it keeps us alive.
Yes, definitely. Are you gonna need more of these? Should I?
Yeah,
I'll write this down. We're gonna make more.
she sort of
Now I can't make any. Just so you guys are. I got other stuff that I'm gonna make for you tonight, but I can't make these until my dads get back. This is it. So
Jinx sort of leans
Kinda
in
shrugs.
over to him and whispers, like she's trying to be quiet, but she's not doing a very good job of it. So it's loud enough that everybody can probably still hear. And she's like, yeah, you might want to have them work on some of my friends here get hit a lot. They're not very good at not dying. So potions will be good.
okay. Yeah, also in the same really bad whisper. Yeah, they kind of look like they take hits a couple of times. I mean, you're looking fine, but wow.
Oh, I just flew. So I mean, I was fine.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, me too. But yeah, they probably need these, huh?
Yeah,
We'll get some stronger ones in for you too.
I appreciate it.
All right, no worries.
I'll be sure to talk to Oberon about that extra carry the 270 gold. Yes,
Something like that. Something like that. Sure.
I'll talk to him. Make sure he gets that over to you.
All right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Thanks. And he collects all the 80 gold. All right. I'm gonna put this away. Bye. And he flies off. So yeah, I got 4 healing potions. As you all hang out for a couple of minutes, maybe even 10, 15, maybe 30 minutes or so, however long, as Jet and a few other sprites do fly in to the Bindle Six Brewery. As Jinx, you recognize them all immediately. Your family is here. As soon as Jovi's the first one to meet you, just flies directly to you and kind of knocks into you a little bit as he's stoked. His eyes are wide.
Should
And
give him
he-
a hug.
Okay. As you see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 of them are here. And you do recognize that your brother Jet's back. Your mom is here, looking a little bit. She's wearing a like a gardener's bib, but also at the same time, you can see that she has her bow and arrow strapped to her back and looks tired and intimidating. Is how Judy, your mother, is has always been, as far as you're aware. And your father is also here. He is also looking kind of dirty. He looks like he works in the dirt a lot, and you know that he does. He is a gardener at heart, and he is constantly taking care of all of the plant life that is in the area. He works very closely with Sylvia, although you haven't had a lot of like direct connection in that specifically. But they all fly in. Your sister is here as well, Jewel, who is also a gardener, looking very similar to your father, covered in dirt, a couple of sticks sticking out of her hair. As you have your whole family is here, as they all fly in. Your dad's the first one that flies over. Jinx, hey.
Hey, you brought
welcome. Yeah.
you brought everyone here all at once, Jet. That's great. Hi, Dad.
It's wonderful.
And Jet looks over. I mean, I told you that this is exactly what they would do. And you know. Lark, can we get, and Lark's, I'm on it. Yeah. He flies out, grabs a couple of more drinks and gets everyone settled.
Yeah, Jinx looks a little uncomfortable, but like less so than she has up to this point. Almost like the apprehension of seeing her family was almost worse than the actual seeing her family. So she's definitely tense, but not quite as distraught as she was before. And she goes around and gives everybody a hug.
And They all hug you back. They're
And-
excited to see you.
And her sister, she probably gives like a backhanded compliment. I kind of imagine they have this sort of sibling rivalry. Maybe Jinx's mom, on more than a few occasions has said, why can't you be more like your sister? That sort of relationship.
Yeah.
But she gives her a hug anyways.
And she hugs you back.
Yeah. So these are my friends. We're on a mission for King Oberon actually. But this is Boxkeen, this is Reverie, this is Dram and Ruli, and we have another friend who's she got pretty hurt, so she's resting. But she's pretty cool. She's like a tree person. And yeah, we saved Jovi.
And as you're telling everybody this, they are very intently listening. No one's interrupting or trying to say their own thing. Even Jovi is like full attention, which is interesting because he never has his full attention on anything.
I am assisting and telling the story with very big motions, waving the eelhound leg around and helping Jinx tell this story.
I love that so much.
As you wave the eel hand, just whoa, oh, but Jovi loves it. Oh, cheers. And as you finish up the story, your mom speaks up, and you said you're working for King Oberon.
Oh yeah, just the king. No big deal.
That's incredible. How did, I guess, I'm not surprised. I will be right back. And she flies off. And she leaves.
Jinx just sort of goes to say something, but she's like already flying up. She's like,
Yeah.
That was that's odd.
And your dad notices this, and he goes, "Don't worry. She is probably going to pick up some stuff. I think she'll be back. We're really proud of you, Jinx."
Oh,
He drinks his. Okay. Is everyone still? And he immediately starts looking around.
Jinx gets quieter than any of you have ever heard her be quiet before.
Does your mom not like King Oberon?
I don't know, but apparently my family's proud of me. Was not expecting that.
That's good, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's just I guess they got over the whole me setting forest fires thing, I guess. That's good.
Yeah, well, maybe just one thing outweighs the other. That's what you got to find. The good outweighing the bad. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. I'm just just wasn't expecting that. And she sort of looks off like the 1,000-yard stare for a minute. But is pleased.
I take another big tear off of the with my
Referees.
giant seal teeth.
Reverie is being uncharacteristically quiet and seems very focused on the eelhound steak.
I just quickly want to say that they're all enjoying eating. If you look over at Dram, whatever Dram is eating, it looks like the worst thing you've ever seen. My quirk with Dram is that from the outside, no matter what he does, he just looks like the saddest man on the planet. So he could also be eating a steak, but it looks like the driest, just worst steak you've ever seen. Most overcooked thing. It looks that way, but for him, it's just like, no, this tastes fine. Just the warmest beer that was left out. This just every aspect is just bad.
That's amazing.
It's really good.
Baskin is looking irately at a rapidly warming beer and nibbling pretty consistently, waiting for either the goblin to come up, to wake up, or the person to come back with the potential delivery items for the aunties, because he can't really start drinking until business is taken care of. And oh, does he need a drink right now?
Which items were you waiting for? Oh, that's a Sylvia, I think.
Oh, was that there? Oh, I thought that was somebody we met in town that was going to come back and drop some stuff.
No, you had to go check in with Sylvia for that one, I think.
That's right. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then never mind. Then in that case, Baskin is drinking heavily and trying to keep Lychee away from the glass.
Wonderful.
I mean, if Lighty wants some, I think you should be able to have some. I don't know why you always keep it away from him.
Okay, you are, you know what, you are right. You are completely right. Here, let me leave my grass here for this vicious, bloodthirsty bird. And he will put it down, and almost immediately, Lychee will knock it over and just stare.
As Lark looks over, here, and he just throws a towel. Do you need another one?
Another towel and probably another beer too. Yes, I would need both.
Oh, all right, great. I'll coming right up. He flies
Well,
off.
maybe as part of your partnership, you should order things to drink that you both like instead of just you.
It is very difficult to find things that he would be very interested in drinking right here. This is not really his social cup of tea, you know. It's
Never heard of a bird that likes to drink tea before. That's interesting.
yeah, neither have I. That makes two of us in the same club today. No, it's less that there is a thing that he wants, and it's more of like he just wants it because I have it. It's kind of that other thing. I really want to be involved in what you're doing, and I want to take it from you, kind of thing. But you know, honestly, I think most of his enjoyment comes from me trying to say no, stop it, no. I honestly, I think it's probably just a grab for attention. But if he ever heard that, he would probably try to peck my head.
Just sounds like maybe he really likes you. But I mean, if he wants to eat, and I'll hold out the eelhound leg towards Lychee, which is half eaten at this point, but
Feathered, frantically flapping carnage descends.
that's okay. I will hold it out for him as he tears into this thing.
Just making a mess. Not even eating that much, just.
As a few minutes go by, and this just eelhound disaster ends up spreading further than it should. There's bits and pieces of eelhound flying
I lean back and catch
10,
one in my mouth.
15 feet as this bird is just. As Jinx, you notice that your mother flies back in, and first flies over to your dad and hands him something, and then they both slowly fly back over to where you are. As your mother looks at you and says, well, these are for you. I remember when I first got this job and needed to protect the town. These were something that I learned how to make, and I know that you have learned your own different skills, and I hope that this comes in handy. And she hands you a little bag. And as you look in the bag, there are 3 glowing lavender acorns that are about the fit in both of your hands. They sit about this big. As she says, these are seed bombs. And they are quite potent, if I do say so myself. Use them sparingly, but in a tight spot, hopefully they'll get you out. And she flies off, just backs up a couple of feet.
Yeah, Jinx's eyes go wide as she looks at these things. She's like, seed bombs? These are so cool. Thanks, Mom.
Well,
I didn't know you knew how to use these.
I needed to keep some secrets from you, specifically, because if I told you that I knew how to make them, you would probably never stop asking me to make them for you.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope these work well. And if you need more, well, come back. I can only make so many at a time, though. So use them as you can.
Oh,
we'll be fine.
yeah. I will use these responsibly.
Wonderful. Good luck. As your dad flies up, and he has a package also, and he hands it to you and says, so I used this when I was adventuring years ago, and it didn't. I think that you might get a use out of it more than me currently, especially if you have an important mission that you're going on from the king. Anyway, this is my little mixed bag, and as you open it up, there is a pitcher plant that has this really long leaf head over it. It's this bright crimson red with streaks of purple down the side. As he says, okay, so this can manifest a couple of different liquids in it. Depending on what you want to do with it, it can be useful in a lot of different circumstances. You name one of the liquids that it can make, and it'll make however much it can. Some of them are more useful than others, but some of them are pretty fun, if I do say so myself. And I hope that it treats you well, like it did me.
Jinx sort of pokes at the plant and it's like, oh, that's so cool. And she's sort of poking the sides and like peeking inside of it. She's like, oh, can it make maple mead?
It can.
Oh, I'm gonna have lots of fun with this.
Yeah, I bet. But shh, don't tell your mom. It makes water, salt water. It can make some acid and some poison if you ask it. It can make honey. It can make oil. It can make the mead. I got that specially in there. It can make a couple of different things. Maybe even some other stuff if you ask it nice.
Jinx just is getting progressively more and more excited, and she just like gives this thing a little hug and just sort of gently hugs it to her chest. She's like, "Yay!"
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck. We'll be rooting for you. I mean, seems hectic out there, from what we've been hearing. I mean, Sylvia's filled us in a little bit. She knows that Evora's out there somewhere. I mean, the Centaurs are a new development. They are bigger than I anticipated, actually.
Oh yeah, they're huge.
They're not small. But, you know, things are changing, I guess. For the better or for worse, things are different now, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like all the different realms just got smushed together. And
Yeah.
seems to be the contrary to the natural order of things, which is a problem.
I mean, it wasn't like this when I was exploring, but the wilds change all the time.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that terrible if we could, just easily go from one place to the other, but we've got parts that are missing, and that probably need to at least solve that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Well, talk to the centaurs. I know they've been talking about it for a while. But if you find anything else out, fill us in too. I mean, good luck.
Oh,
I hope this
yeah.
comes in useful.
Thank you. Yeah, I will definitely, send word back. Everything's moving around, so I'm not sure how reliable the lines of communication will be, but I will definitely try to get word back to you as soon as we find out something.
All right. Yeah. Your mother and I will appreciate it. So will everyone else. Sylvia too, if you can. But
That's probably who will end up finding out first, just because you know what she can do.
That's fair. She's worried about Evora, though. Not too much. Not enough to tell us, but she can't sneak it past me. I know.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. We'll figure it out, and don't worry too much about me. I'm pretty hard to, I'm pretty hard to kill, so I'll be fine.
Well, you are your mother's daughter, so that tracks. And he laughs to himself and kind of looks off.
Yeah, Jinx pulls out one of the little acorns just barely out of the bag. He's like, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about some of those stories later that I haven't heard.
Oh, I guess it is later. Yeah. I mean, I guess we could do it. Yeah. Talk to you. Yeah, we'll fill you in a little bit. Unless you're doing anything else, you can spend your rest of the afternoon hanging out, chatting, sharing stories.
Yeah, I think Jinx will probably do that. Occasionally, she'll poke at the. Did we get one of the? I don't know why I can never remember the name. Is it Kawatoa?
Kuatoa.
Kuatoa. Yeah. Did we get one of those, or was it the goblin that we tied up?
You got a Kuatoa. The goblin and the other two did get away. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, occasionally she'll poke at the Kuatoa and just see if they're awake or not.
The first couple of pokes don't do anything, and then you kind of give up after about 15 minutes of poking it. About 40 minutes or so later, you go back, you poke it again, and it does.
Oh, hey, it's awake. It's awake. It's waking up. I don't think I speak their language.
Oh, I can.
Oh, good.
And I get very close to its face.
As you do, it kind of opens its eyes, and as it registers that there is something this close to it, it immediately flails back and hisses at you. As you can see these little tiny sharp fish teeth that just line all the way around the edge.
Yeah, I'm going to open my mouth and hiss back, but with my much larger, jagged seal teeth.
As you do, make an intimidation check.
Okay. $17.
Okay. Yeah, this thing kind of just cowers in the corner now. And it is tied up. I think you've tied its hands together and its legs together, so it can't get too far away.
Mm-hmm.
But it has now woken up and has been terrified sufficiently. And is now just looking around at all of you, laying in the grass next to the base of the tree, as it's kind of in this beer garden that you're currently sitting in, as you all are really the only people here. well, your family's here too, as they all look around and see that this thing is happening, and there's two things hissing at each other over there.
Once it seems I got my point across. What did you want with us? Why did you attack us like that?
Immediately, it just kind of growls at you a little bit, but still being intimidated. Is well, who are you? And it's speaking in Aquan. So if you can't understand Aquan, it's just grunts and bubbles and hisses, and same things coming out of Ruby's mouth as well. So I think only two of you understand what's going on right now. As it asks you the same thing. Make a persuasion check as you start this conversation as well.
Gladly.
Do this one with advantage, though.
Ooh. Oh, come on.
Uh-oh. That's fine.
Yeah, my +7 got me an 11 with advantage.
Wow. Yes. It looks over at you and eyes all of these people around it. I'm Carl. We were on a mission.
You said you were on a mission?
Yeah, we were on a mission.
A mission doing what? Why did you attack us? Why did you try to take our friend?
We wanted her.
Why?
What?
It's not very nice.
No, I never said I was nice.
Why did you want her?
We were told to get her.
Who told you?
Well, I mean, as you ask who, and you start to get more and more specific about like where this thing was coming from, you're getting the very clear sense that this guy is not the mastermind involved of whatever's going on here. We needed her. Well, we needed one of them. We needed anybody. It wasn't you. You're not special.
Why did you need somebody?
They were gonna use them. They were gonna use them.
For what?
Something.
So it'll be much easier if you just tell me. I have eaten things far larger than you.
Yeah, and I've avoided things far smaller than you.
And almost as if on cue in Aquan, a very angry, very large robin sits on his head and begins to poke and peck.
Get off me. As he tries to flail. Let's make a strength check for Lychee as he tries to hold on. It'll be contested strength.
Oh no, with that good bird strength.
Yes. I mean,
It's a 4.
oh, I had a 6.
Oh.
You're so close. As Lychee does get shaken off a little bit, flutters off. Gets hissed at.
I think Jinx is Jinx, so of course she's impatient. So she looks at Ruli. It's like, what's going on? What are they saying? It doesn't look like they're being very cooperative. So hold on. And she puts her hands over Jovi's ears. It's like, tell him if he doesn't cooperate, I'll freeze his toes off. That'll probably help.
I don't know that we need to do that. He says that they were on a mission and they wanted to use somebody. somebody in the group was useful. Multiple people were useful. I'm not sure, but I don't think he's smart enough to know.
Baskin, make a history check with advantage.
Ooh, a history check. I love a history check. Even if
And I
that's-
will repeat that too, kind of in awkward as if I'm talking to the group. I don't think he's smart enough to know. He's just a minion.
As you say this, he can, clearly hear you as he goes, shut up. This is
Well,
restored.
you haven't proven me wrong.
Well, you haven't proven me right.
with an advantage, that's just a 13.
Okay. This doesn't sound unfamiliar. This sounds like something, and you're getting the, without like the details and the specifics, this sounds like something that maybe you have done, not specifically this job before, but it sounds like this guy is on a mission to collect some stuff.
Oh, I know this. I don't know the dish, but I know the ingredients.
Yeah.
Oh. Hmm. Look, and this will be in. I think this is going to be in just common or Sylvan. Look, little friend. I understand that you don't. You can't understand me. And then we'll switch back and Darkwing. Look, I understand that this is going to be a little bit bad for you. I know what you're doing. It's not great. Job is job. I 100% understand it. I do not hold it against you, but you're going to need to tell us who hired you.
Did you just say you knew?
No, I know the people that would want me to do this kind of thing, but I don't think the people that would want me to do this kind of thing would send you to kill me, or at least with some. No, they would have sent someone better to kill me, since you seem to have failed.
He kind of takes offense to that. Oh, well, there were more of you than there were of us. We kind of underestimated how many. I don't need to explain myself to you. Yeah. So you know, right? You've been there, you've done the thing. Whatever. So, yeah, they wanted me to get somebody. They wanted to make a thing, do a thing, kill a thing to make a different thing. You know, probably, maybe.
Who is they? There is going to be someone who is the person that you would have said, hey, here is the thing, here is the bag of person.
Yeah. He just screams at you.
And I think Paskin will turn and look to everyone else and Sylvan go, does anyone know anyone by that name? I'm just checking to make sure before I really hurt this guy.
Ruli and Reverie, make a history check.
Uh, 19,
A
but if
3.
it wasn't at advantage, it would have been a 23.
Well, Revelry, as this thing screams, something in the back of your mind goes, oh shit. Shit, I know that scream actually. This is the name of one of the sea hags that does live in Sylvanthia. And now things are starting to actually, for you, fit the pieces together a little bit. Revelry, you've been around, and the sea hags in that area do not particularly like you very much. Now, you haven't really done things directly to them, but so much has just like existed around. You kind of got in the way without really meaning to a couple of times. They don't love that when that happens, though.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. With that roll, you know that there is a coven of hags that live in Sylvanthia. There are 2 of them that you know of. There is and there is Winja. Both of them are, you haven't met them in particular, but you have heard of them. You do know that they do putting these pieces together and thinking like, oh, shoot, actually there are realms that are now physically connected to each other, and things that are happening here might also be happening there. These are connected. You now know that, yeah, there's a coven over there. They do contract eel hounds and kuatoas and sometimes goblins and other things to go collect stuff. Now, this is a new thing, them traveling to a different realm as far as you're aware, but you recognize that name.
Yeah, and it's visible when the Kuatoa kind of screams, like Reverie kind of puts a hand over his face. I know that scream. Sea hags are a lot of fun, right? No, they're not.
Not really.
No. Let's say I might have done a little bit of privateering around Sylvanthe, and I know well enough that you don't mess with the sea hags, but it might have happened by proxy, accidentally. There is possibility that they might not be very happy with me. That's one of their covens.
Well, you really are famous, aren't you? Everybody knows you.
Yeah, it kind of didn't really intend for that to happen, but here we are. But yeah, apparently they're contracting long distance now.
Well, that is troublesome. They never really bothered us. We left them alone and they left us alone. But I guess it makes sense if they can get other places easily now that they would do that.
There is a second coven, but so far as I know, I haven't done anything to particularly piss them off. But then again, I wasn't the one getting dragged away, so I don't know. And he kind of looks at the Kuato and narrows his eyes a little bit.
Is that you?
He just hisses right back and says something in infernal, which sounds just absolutely like bone chilling.
Yeah. Kind of shrinks away a little bit after sniffing the air after you said that. Pouts in the corner.
So, and Reverie kind of looks back to really, he didn't say they were specifically after one of us, just any of us.
Some of us. He specifically said I wasn't special enough, but I assume now knowing that it's just because the sea hags don't mess with us. But yeah, so I don't know if it's Amira specifically that they wanted, or somebody who works for the king, or an adventurer, or I don't know.
Has all of this, just out of character, has all of the stuff that the Kuato has been saying been being translated for the group?
I believe that Ruli's been talking back and forth. And
Yeah, like summarizing it, sort of thing.
Okay.
Talking about turning a thing into another thing and nabbing a whole person. You know, unpleasantness. Wouldn't happen to be dabbling possibly in necromancy or something. And he kind of looks at the Kuato again, but he's not really expecting any any more sophisticated answers from their captive.
Yeah, as he can't even understand the words that you're saying, really, as far as you're aware. As you just look over him, he just bares his teeth at you again. That seems to be his go-to defense mechanism.
Yeah, Reverie just rolls his eyes like he's completely unintimidated. It's obvious.
Fair.
At the when just backing up for a second, the part where Ruli was saying that, he said apparently I'm not special enough. Jinx is like, what do you mean Ruli's not special enough? And she'll like walk over and kick him in the shins, and she's like 6 inches tall, so it doesn't actually do any real damage, but she'll kick him in the shins and be like, Ruli's very special. What's wrong with you?
As you get closer, he just he snaps at you as you kick him. And he's gonna try and bite you. He's gonna roll this at disadvantage. Does a 15 hit?
It will hit, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Silvery
Got
barbs.
close. Now you can actually, if you want to hurt him, you can roll his damage also.
I'm doing silvery barbs.
Oh.
So as soon as he snaps forward, I grab an ice shard out of the air and throw it at his throat.
Okay.
So you will re-roll that, take the lowest.
He's gonna re-roll at disadvantage, and that is going to be an 11, which is not going to do it.
That will miss. Can I also intimidate on top of that?
Please. Yes, roll an intimidation check.
So Jinx will do like not actually cast Hellish Rebuke, but like the like maybe the first part of it. So just to be like, if you actually hit me, like this is gonna happen. With a 19.
Okay, yeah. As you start, what does Hellish Rebuke look like for Jinx?
So basically it's like I want to say like pink and purple flames just start to like spiral, almost like a whirlwind, just starting at her feet and then just slowly coming up. So there's just like a little bit of wind and a little bit of the pink and purple flame just sort of licks at the air a little bit, just on the ground level.
Hell yeah. As you do that, he even starts to back up just from like the idea of fire in it, of itself, right? Hisses and just scurries kind of just at the tree roots, trying to get as far away from you as now he possibly can, while being still tied up and crawling on the floor.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks, Ruli.
Of course. I don't want anyone to get hurt. That was the last of my magic, though.
If I wanted a Selkie, I'd just try to take you, but you deserve it.
I
I'm
can't.
just gonna.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, because he said that in Aquan, right?
Yeah, he did.
So I'm just gonna look up, asking. I never know what to do with prisoners afterwards. Do we eat them?
Actually, and Basquiat has gotten a little bit pale during this encounter and has gone a little bit quiet. Let me think on this, and I am 100% down to play this back and forth in front of you and make this guy think that we might actually let him live. But I have to go do a thing, and I will be right back. Too much maple mead. Sorry. We'll kind of pseudo stumble away, and as soon as they are outside, as soon as he's outside, we'll open up that book and go and write God one of as conflict over mutual interest. Captured. He squealed. Does he go home? Help? Question mark.
Okay. As you write those words, and as soon as you're done writing the sentence, you watch them just vanish into the page itself. As you sit there and you wait, as 10 seconds go by, 30 seconds go by, a minute goes by, you're getting impatient. You're like, oh, did you? Words finally start to appear. What? Period. This is unacceptable. Period. Kill them. Period.
Well, that was going to be my go-to plan anyways, but it's always good to know when management agrees with you at the end of the day. That is called workplace synergy. Oh boy, I'm sure both of them were watching this entire encounter. Shit.
Those words vanish again on the page. As more words pop up, we have to get to the bottom of this. Period.
Oh.
And then another sentence. Keep posted. Period.
Right, will do. That is great. Next time, daily update going to... 25 is really not very many words. Okay. Baskin will just go back inside and go, okay, yes, Ruri, sorry about the delay. I needed to get some fresh air. Yes, well, we can eat him. I think that's fine. Or, we can just pour honey meat on him, tie him down, and walk away. That would probably work. Or, I know a few turtles I could probably talk to. We could just leave him in knee-deep water, and they would probably come. I'm really open for anything, but I mean, yeah. It's not going to go good for you, friend.
I guess we should probably ask the rest of the group.
Was all of this happening in Sylvan or in Aquan?
I think probably in Aquan, because part of the reason for it was to intimidate this guy a little more, just to see if he talks. But yeah, after that, really we'll turn to everyone. So what do we want to do with him? Do we want to eat him? Or just kill him? Or
I could just set him on fire.
does anybody think he should be let go?
No.
No. A hard pass on that.
You do you. I don't.
I'll turn back to Basking. I guess you're in charge of this.
Oh, okay. Well, that's Ooh, okay. And he will look over at Lychee and go, "Well, I guess tonight you get to have a little bit of fun, yeah? Have I showed everyone Lychee's little trick? Here's a little trick. It's
A little trick. Does he have a ball?
Not exactly. No. You know what? That's fine. You're right. Not the right time. I honestly say we just get him. Is there and Baskin will try to flag down one of the people who works there.
I mean, yeah, there's two folks. Lark is still flying around, helping everyone else. Everyone else's Jinx to your family is not really partaking in this part of the discussion. They're busy on the other side of the bar. They know that you got work to do. But yeah,
I was gonna say
right
if Jovi's been around, Jinx is just periodically putting her hands over his ears and then occasionally over his eyes.
Yeah, your mother came and took Jovi away. Your family is not part of this discussion right now. But Lark is now around again for you, Baskin.
Okay. Hey, where is there a kind of place that is off the property? I don't want to get you in any trouble.
I mean, yeah, and he gestures just out to the woods. We end right here. Anything out there is, I mean, probably do it away from where anybody can hear you. Wow, I didn't expect this to happen today in the place that I work. Somewhere else would be great. Yep.
Great. We're not like right adjacent to any water, are we?
Not really. The nearest water is back at the Crystal Cliff,
Okay,
which
great.
is not too far away, but it would be a little bit of a walk to get there, like 20-30 minute walk. So not crazy long, but it would take you a little bit of time to get there.
Okay. In that case, Baskin will say, everyone, you know what? I changed my mind. This is going to actually be pretty fun. Come over here. I want to show you all Raichi's little trick.
I always like seeing tricks.
We'll lead everyone off to the edge, kind of away from everyone, and we'll take out the little book and hold it up, and it's a picture book. And it's every other time it's just been like a journal that has always been a new page, but this time it's a picture of a little capybara that is going around and biting things in the water and generally having a fun adventure in the swamp. And as he reads the story, his voice starts to take on a kind of a two-tone quality to it. And by the end of it, about 10 minutes later, you could say, Lychee, who has not been there for a minute, pops up in front of him and then begins to rapidly expand and ends as a large capybara, like draped in Spanish moss with giant tusks coming out of his mouth, generally looking pretty irate. And Baskin will go, okay, cut the guy's ropes and go, you are free to go.
Okay. And he bolts.
Okay, you can go now. And Lychee, as the swamp horror, will run and just making the ground shake as he chases this poor, unfortunate fish on land.
Okay.
Just off camera,
Yeah.
Just off camera that.
Yeah.
So they're like a Wilhelm scream off camera later, like a few minutes later.
Yeah, we don't need to roll for this one. Lychee's a big boy, and this fish is not a big boy. And this fish can go 20 feet per round, and Lychee can go twice that, I believe.
60,
minimum?
I think Lychee's a 60-40
Yeah.
foot swim.
You've successfully dispatched of this Kuatoa. As yes, you do hear off on the side of the.
That is a really interesting shape.
Right? That's fucking terrifying.
It
The good
is.
reason he stays a robin most of the time. If he was anything else, we would all be in trouble. But more beer, more meat. We are done. This was great. Something will take care of that. This has been the most unnecessary part of our entire night. So now let us celebrate. We have finished our job. We have gotten revenge. There is probably something if we want to eat. Personally, I do not want to eat what is over there anymore. But maybe
Yeah,
there is.
I had a lot of eelhound. I think I'm probably
I'm-
good. We should rest
Right.
too.
Yes, that is a very good idea. Where is Jinx? I'm sorry to ask you this perhaps kind of rude question, but your beds are going to be too small.
Oh, they should have like large bulk bed at the at the tavern, because we trade with people who are obviously much larger than us, so there should be a room with like size beds.
As you're having this conversation, Lark flies over. Oh yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize it was so alert. You need some sleep. We definitely have some beds. We definitely have some places. They're a little bit off site, and he kind of points into the woods a little bit as you notice this little trail that's not very robust, but it definitely does exist now that it's been pointed out. Okay, down that way, there's a couple of different cabins, various sizes. There's some mediums, some smalls, some larges. I don't think you need any of those. All right. You Sharon, what are you doing? How do you want to do this? You want your own rooms? You want different things?
I can just hang out wherever. I don't really sleep, so
Yeah, I'm fine sharing a room if someone wants to.
I think I should probably bunk alone.
Likewise, that's probably better.
You guys are all really suspicious. Like we almost died today, and you're like, no, I don't want to be with you guys. We saved your life. No, that's cool, Rudy. I am totally fine. Like if you don't mind Raichi over here in his incessant, then that's
Lychee is the last person I mind.
I'm gonna say that. We can see if that's the case later.
I can just like sit on the bedpost. I don't
we'll
really
find
need a
space
whole
for you.
room.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 3 then. That'll be 5 gold a piece, 15 gold total, and I'll lead you over there.
Baskin will tip. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Drem looks at his 5 gold. That is all he has left.
I'll pay for your room. Don't worry.
No, it's fine. And he just passed it over.
Okay. All right, so Dram's paying 5.
Baskin is going to tip an extra gold, and just go.
I don't know where, but there is a thing out there that I'm really sorry for. Here is.
Okay, thank you.
I hope you still say that next time.
I'll be honest, me too. Appreciate it. He holds up the gold coin. Okay. And really, you're taking care of the other 10?
Yeah, whatever's left.
Reverie pays for his own.
Okay, great. As everything's taken care of with the 16 gold total, Lark flies you, all of you. Jinx, are you going with them right now, or are you sticking around for a little bit? Your family's still around, but they're also over there too.
Yeah, it should
doing their own stuff.
probably like do some more like catching up with the family for a little bit. Just small talk and talk about some of her escapades or whatever before the Oberon thing. But then we'll eventually head to the room. And while everyone else is sleeping, she's just sitting like on one of the bedposts or on the piece of furniture in the room or something like that. Just staring straight ahead, unblinking for the whole night, just moving these magical looking wisps and things from like one hand to the other the whole night and just silently muttering. Totally not creepy.
Totally not creepy. And while you're chatting with your family, you actually get a little bit of stories from both of your parents as they tell you a little bit about one of the first kind of adventures that they went on before they even were together, really. They went off to go find the voice of the forest and help some of the corruption that happened in the grove ages ago at this point. And so you learn a little bit more about how they kind of fit in with this whole city and a little bit more about their history with Sylvia before you go off and have the rest of your night being awake for quite some time. As all of you get now led down the trail as you each find your own 3 cabins. There's a few of them in there, and they come in different shapes and sizes. There are some tiny ones, some small ones, medium ones, some that are embedded into trees, some that are embedded into rocks and dug into the ground. There's a bunch of different types of living situations here. As you all kind of get put into some of these more standardized cabins. But Lark says, okay, well, if you prefer to sleep like in the dirt or in a tree or something, feel free. I mean, it's up to you. Whatever you're feeling, do it. Besides that, I'll be back over there if you need anything. Tomorrow morning, I mean, if not, I'll be over there still. All right. Yeah. Anything else you need me for right now before I? Psh.
Yeah, Jinx,
All right.
I'm good.
Okay, great. And he flies off. And that is where we are going to take a little break. We're going to take a long rest right here. And we are going to come back in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
15, yeah.
15 minutes. Perfect. Then we will long rest and we will come right back in just a little bit.
All right, we'll be right back. And we are back.
All right, welcome back. So, where we just left off was taking a long rest. So, the group of you just got back to the city of Iris. As you went to the Bendelsticks Brewery, had a couple of drinks, hung out for a little bit, talked to Jinx. Your family showed up, and you had a couple of hours to hang out with them for a little bit as you recovered from the battle that you had just taken. And learned a little bit more about your parents as they both gave you things that had helped them on their adventures in the past. As the rest of you drank a little bit more, dealt with the Kuatoa that you had defeated in battle, and dealt with him afterwards after learning a little bit more about what their ultimate goal was. That there was one of you who they were in fact trying to kidnap for a particular reason. You learned who their employer was and a little bit more about what's going on with them before finally going to go to sleep for the night, as you all have now woken up after a very, very long restful sleep. You are now all at full health. Maybe you didn't sleep fully or maybe at all, depending on who you are, but you have all now gotten the benefits of a long rest. As you all awaken in your 3 little cabins that are set out for you in the woods of the Middlestick Brewery. The morning is yours. Where would you like to go first? If you have anything in particular, you do need to go through the Middlesticks Brewery. That is where you are currently residing. But if you want to do anything in the woods, hey, they're right there.
I think it's pretty obvious Ruli didn't sleep well in the bed, getting up. Just tossed and turned a lot for a while. She was curled up like a cat, just used to sleeping in water. So this was very odd. But once Baskin finally wakes up, just knees pulled up to her chest, just looking at Lychee. What form is Lychee in currently?
Lychee would be back to his normal Robin right now. He would have, after an hour, he would have gone back to the typical feathered death variety.
Okay. Seeing you wake up. Was that his real form?
It was something a little bit less in line with his demeanor. Not too far, yeah.
Have you ever seen his true form?
No. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was... this wasn't the way that I met him. It was... he was a friend who maybe was a little too reckless. And so he's a little bit more durable now than he used to be. So it is, it's fine. He fights, he dies, but this time he gets to come back a little bit easier. So we fight, we laugh, and Baskin is trying to make a light of a little bit of a jaunt to this, but it's obvious it's not necessarily the happiest subject in the world for him to be talking about. And if he is victorious, then we drink in his celebration, and if not, he gets to take a little bit of a breather and tell the other folks in whatever weird half world between here and the ethereal plane he goes to brag to the other spirits about how many people he killed before getting his head smashed. So either way, he's having a pretty good time, I think.
As long as he's happy. A lot of mages don't know what their familiars actually look like. They don't know their actual names.
Oh, his name is Raichi. His name was Raichi when he was smellier.
I'm glad that you do.
As you all gather from the morning and continue on your way back to the Benno Brewery, as once again you show up and it is early for the most part. You went to bed not particularly late for most of you, but you were exhausted from the day that you had. It looks like the morning is just getting kicked off, as there are still two people here. Lark and Anthony are both awake. They are both flying around. They're cleaning tables just like they were when you showed up the first time, making sure that their whole environment is ready for their day as you all emerge from the woods. And Lark immediately takes note and whispers something, says something to Ant, and he flies off and comes back before you even really fully get into the beer garden itself that you were enjoying yourself in yesterday. As Lark comes back with a big stack for him of 4 boxes that are stacked on top, and he is very precariously flying with these as he plops them on the table. Okay, it took me a little bit, but we figured it out. We got it. I had his help. Thanks again. Appreciate you. Great. I made this for you. Check these out. And he pops open each of the boxes and flies around. And you can see that there's, in one of the boxes, is a little like curled pastry with a little poof of whipped cream on the top. And he says, okay, so these are the takeoff torts. They're gonna be delicious and they're gonna help you go that way. And he points straight up. In this box, and he opens up this one, are 6 little tiny little fudge cookies. As he says, these are the fudge yourself cookies. What you need to do with this is pop them in your mouth and then think about what you want to look like from here on out. And they'll do that for you for a little bit. These ones right here, and he points at these, and they're little, tiny little tarts. Very, very small, little custard in them. He says, well, these are the tiny tarts. You're going to pop one of these in your mouth. And Jinx, you saw what happened last time you did it. I don't recommend it for us, but for all of you, he gestures at all of you bigger ones. They'll bring you down to our size. They'll make you a little, it'll be weird, but you'll have a fun time, I think. These ones are particularly interesting, and you see these folded kind of crescent moon pastries that look like they have these zigzaggy blackish lines through them. These are the climbing croissants made with real wolf spider hair, and they will let you climb on walls for a little bit of time. Take care of them. They don't go, the magic doesn't go bad necessarily, but the flavor definitely does. So keep that in mind. Here, and he passes them off, all 4 boxes to you all. I'll be honest, it looks like this thing points up, and now you also all look up and take note that above the tree line, and it's not quite here yet, but you can still see a big shadow coming up over the horizon as what looks to be an island in the sky is kind of right overhead, or at least will be soon. Okay, that probably is where I'm guessing you're going. I don't mean to make assumptions, though. That's my guess. Well, here. He passes off the boxes.
Yeah, Jinx takes hers and thanks. We really appreciate it. I'm kind of excited to see what all of you are gonna look like me size.
I'll be honest, me too. Hey, so everyone take notes. I would really like some feedback. Some of these are things that I have made a couple of times, and some of these are new recipes that I haven't actually been able to taste test myself necessarily so much as like, I guess I've tried them and the batter and it's good, but they're work in progress. These are cool things that, thanks to you, and he points at you, Bashkin, I haven't been able to make some of these things until I got your ingredients. So, hey, I appreciate that. Good luck, and I hope they work. They will. Who am I talking about? It's me. I got you guys. He seems pretty confident, but also has not made these before. Very clearly.
How many of the takeoff pastries are there?
There are 6 of each thing in each box. So you have 6 of the takeoff torts, 6 of the fudge yourself cookies, 6 tiny tarts, and 6 climbing croissants.
So we don't have to get small this time. We can all just take a takeoff tart and just fly up.
That is true.
About how, like, judging from like the distance that we're already looking at here, how high does it look like the islands are floating?
So this one in particular that you can kind of see, it looks like it is not more than a mile up. It is going to be not like super close, and distance of atmospheres is a weird thing that is happening here in the Feywilds, but it doesn't look like it is too far away to fly. It looks like you cannot jump there at all. Throwing isn't going to be impossible. Something with wings could probably make it. Less than a mile up, a couple thousand feet, maybe 2,000 feet or so. Nothing crazy. Just right up there.
I see. Okay.
Couple of trees. Couple of big trees. Now, as far as all of them, it depends, right? You haven't seen all of the islands specifically, but this one looks like it is not incredibly far out. It is further away than it is, it looks like it's actively on the move. And you can, if you pause your body and just watch it, you can see that it is slowly, very slowly, but still fast enough to take note of if you just take a couple minutes to pause. It's traveling through the sky and it's heading in the direction of the city. You feel like it'll probably be directly above you in the next hour or two. So anything you want to do to prep before that is up to you.
Well, before we actually, try to go there, perhaps we should get that map from our centaur friends. Probably a good idea.
Okay. As you all gather up your stuff and head over to where the centaurs are hanging out, you travel past the city, travel past the tree that is Sylvia, and see off to the edge the centaurs. Now, you do not see, as you approach them, Carlisle and Jen are not with them any longer. You do see, at least right here in the morning, there is a pretty large tent of like a bright emerald green. And there are still those 2 other centaurs that you saw last time that I believe it was just Revelry and Amira who talked to them last time. But it might have been Ruli, I forget specifically. Revelry and Amira that talked to them last time were Ember and Marion are the 2 other centaurs that are there. As the group of you walks up, Ember is the first one to speak. And they say, oh, okay. Well, we know you and you. Welcome in. The rest of you, I imagine that you're the people that they talked about a little bit earlier. Well, we did it. I'll let Marion take over from here. Welcome. He kind of backs up. And Marion, who's been sitting there, and again, both of these are wearing different color robes. So if we go through their description again real quick, give me just a second. So Marion is got the blue-green streaks of in their hair with a red robe with golden constellations, and Ember is bright orange hair all the way around their body, but very, very dark charcoal black hair on the top of their mane and their head, who is wearing a green robe with yellow constellations. As he introduces that you are all here to Marion, who then takes over. And she's significantly smaller than he is, and both of them are significantly smaller than Jen. Jin is much larger than any of these other centaurs. As Marion comes up, okay, well, we made this, and digs out one of her packs and hands it to you, Reverie. So this is the chart that you have requested. We added some of our own magic. We worked together. Carlisle and Jin helped as well. So what this will do is it will be as up to date as possible. So when we update our map, you get the update on yours. So as long as we are actively doing it, you'll have the information that we have.
Every kind of opens the chart and looks at it, kind of glances up at where the island is to compare.
Yeah, and as you open it up and fold it all out completely, before it is completely unfolded, it just is a normal piece of paper. And you can see that as you unfold it, there are lines on it. There are what you can assume to be the realms. And as you unfold it, you can see that there are the names of each of them. But as soon as it's fully unfolded, it doesn't even really need help to stay down. As soon as it's fully out, the corners themselves essentially stick to the table that you have it on. And coming out of the map itself are 6 floating islands. And you can see that there is, right where you are at the city of Iris, which is marked on the map of the realm of Velocidir, there is a floating blue island that is almost directly above where you currently are. As you look over, there are all of the other islands as well. There's one that's marked in green. There's one that's marked in kind of a pink color. There's one that's marked in a yellow color, one that's marked in a dark brown color, and one that's marked in a vibrant green color.
Reverie looks genuinely impressed. I'm quite impressed. And yet unsurprised. I figured you were quite capable. Gives an appreciative nod.
Appreciate it. Thank
He
you.
kind
It's
of
very pretty magic.
he kind of looks to the others and so that they get the gist of what's going on with the map since they didn't get a chance to see it.
So-
in
Yeah.
Veskine's like quick glance over it, is there, and I know it's wonderfully detailed with the maps moving independent, with the islands moving independently and everything, is there handwriting for like the legend, or is there any script at all, any written descriptors on the land?
Yes. So on the map itself, there is the realms, which realm is which. There is the key cities. So you can see that there is the city of Iris that is here. Hunera's Hearth that you have been to is marked on the map. The city of Maihea is marked on the map. There's some other cities as well. There's some things that you don't recognize. Although for you, Baskin, you do recognize that there is a little hut that is drawn into kind of a green colored area that you recognize as being roughly where the Antes live. And that is on the map. But there are some things that are not on the map as well. And being from various areas, they know that there's different places that they have missed. So each of you can see that there are some things in these realms that you recognize. There's some definitely words drawn out. There are some important key cities that are on there. But there are some missing pieces of information as well. Now, each of the realms themselves are, it looks like, in this map, color-coded. So just basing on what you can see, it looks like the realm of Velocidir is this vibrant green, and there is only one vibrant green island, which you can now see that it's currently floating over the mountain spire of Umbervale. As you can look over and kind of map out which coloration matches which realm and which island matches each place, as the island that is almost directly above you is bright blue, the same color as the realm of Sylvanthi.
Well, home sweet home. Though Reverie kind of says it through gritted teeth.
I hope everyone who got pulled up there is okay.
Should we go? Should we just go check on it?
I think so. I worry that maybe the water drained off.
Yes, I was going to say,
looked
one
it up.
wonders what would happen to the oceans.
Hmm.
We should see, though. Maybe we can figure out what's going on and how we stop this.
All right. Well, I've got Bob here. You've all got your pastries.
Yes.
Shall we?
Eating pastries is the best way to start an adventure.
Agreed.
Just before we go, I would, we have this great, wonderful resource right here, and I do not want us to be in a bad situation if anything were to happen to it. Can we take it looks like we got a few minutes to spare. Can I just copy a second version of this down for our own memory in case something happens? Great, thank you. And unless anybody directly says anything, Baskin is going to start copying an almost perfect version of the map. There, some small things left out, but to kind of just take up a page and just doodle that little map out.
Baskin, it's going to be inaccurate in 10 or 15 minutes.
Really? Oh, well, it'll still be mostly, right? The islands will be wrong, but that's okay because we'll be on the island, right?
True.
Yeah, and then, but all of the land is still going to be there. I hope. I'm really talking with a lot of confidence, and I don't really know how this is going to go.
I don't think any of us do, but that's okay. That's what being an adventurer is all about.
Yeah, par for the course so far, really.
I never really know how anything's going to turn out. I just go with it. It's always worked for me.
I found a dragon once.
Oh, you found a dragon?
Oh, please no.
I hid. Yeah. It was very
What the
scary.
What did y'all have for breakfast? Why does no one share this with me? Everyone is in such a great mood today. All right, great. Yes, let's go to this island. Let's do this. It's
Because
going
we
to be
have pastries.
Oh.
And Jinx just hands over this for Baskin a large thimble-sized cup and says oh, I was up for up and down here like an hour before you all were, and just here, drink this. You'll feel better. And it's just coffee with lots of sugar in it.
I think if there's a moment maybe for Baskin to catch Dram's eyes, he's just going to stop for a moment and as quietly as a dragonborn can whisper, go,
I could feel her staring all night. I could hear the silence. This cup is too small.
Dram looks back at Baskin. And Dram has permanent bags under his eyes. He never sleeps well. Every night is just full of nightmares. But something about hearing that Baskin just spent the night being stared at is a step too far. Driv just sort of looks him straight in the eyes and says, I have enough nightmares. Please never share something like that with me again.
Yeah, okay. Sure, why not?
In the nicest way possible.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I'll make sure not to share anything that is nearly that mild with you again. Next time it will be one of the good stories. You're right. I should not have wasted your time with this. My sincerest apologies.
I'd like to think that Jinx is no pun intended, but Jinx has buzzed off, for a minute, and then as you're nearing the end of the conversation, just like pops up, like, "What you talking about?"
Oh, stuff, things.
Smoothies.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are we waiting for?
I think we're waiting for Bosky to make a map.
No,
Oh yeah, no, I'm done.
No. We were saying that Boskine makes a mean smoothie.
Oh, to use like angry berries or something?
No, I use my feet.
Are your feet angry?
Are yours not?
She just like leans back, pulls off a boot, and wiggles her toes. She's like, "Oh, they seem like pretty happy feet to me," and puts her boot back on.
You'll have to make a smoothie sometimes.
That make it a happy smooth? I don't know if I'd want to make a smoothie with my feet, though. Guess if I washed them first.
I've never had a smoothie. Is that not how they're made?
I just usually use a mortar and pestle and just squish all the berries and fruit up.
We should probably go though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jinx just sits on her bird staring at Boskine, waiting for him to eat the pastry, unblinking.
I shove the pastry in my mouth.
And it is delicious. It is full of whipped cream, and that whipped cream is so sweet, but it's not like an overpowering sweetness. It has just the perfect amount of air in it as well. It feels very, very light in your mouth as you realize it's not just your mouth that feels light, it is your entire body. As you slowly start to ascend. And as you start to even just walk on the floor, every step is a little bit longer as gravity no longer has a sway on you. And as you all watch Ruli take to the air.
Start to swim into the air, but I imagine Ruli, the way her mouth is, doesn't chew with it closed. So watching her eat the pastry is probably disturbing as she chomps down on it. But yeah, as she starts to float up, she just immediately goes into swimming motions because that's what it feels like.
And that's exactly what it is. As you are feeling as graceful in the air as you ever have in the water. It is very similar. It's actually maybe even easier because it's not as viscous to go through. You don't need to try as hard. You just got to do it. And as a swimmer, you know exactly what that feeling is. There you go. Now, it's kind of like feeding a dog whipped cream from the can, where they definitely tried a little bit too hard. They're definitely inhaling a little bit too much. And you're like, you don't need to do that. But I get it. I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Yeah, I think so.
As the rest of you watch Ruli ascend. Ruli, you can see the tops of the trees now.
Waiting for everyone. I'm doing loops and zipping around, going in between trees, and she looks very much in her element.
Jinx is flying on up with her raven and just also doing loops and circles and things.
Yeah, Jinx doesn't even need to eat the
No.
tree. So you will have an extra one. Does everyone else eat their thing?
Yeah. Drem will go.
All right.
And,
As you all consume your tort, you all take to the air. You do have an extra one, as now Jinx has not consumed theirs. So keep that in mind as well. Someone make sure to mark that one down in your list. As it doesn't take very long. As when you've eaten them, it is very, very close to where you are. As you fly straight up, it takes 5-10 minutes of flying, and it is fun as hell. Hey, it's fun as hell up there. You diving through trees, you have complete control. This is a very, very well made little pastry that you have. And it takes about 10, 15 minutes as you get above the island itself. You look down. How far up do you go? Do you like descend in front of, where do you go? The island looks about from the bottom like an oblong, a longish oval. It looks like kind of the shape of a football stadium, like the field itself, but it's about a mile or so long. So it's like a larger football stadium-ish size. It's got a couple of creeks and crevices to it. And as you're trying to fly up to it, it looks like on the north side, there is just water that is pouring off of the edge. And it is just disappearing into the air. And really, as you get a little bit closer to this, you start to taste salt. You start to taste water that is just pouring consistently off of this island as it turns into sea spray in the air and just vanishes off.
Yeah. Seeing that, I will swim through the air faster. I'm actually going to swim through where the water is coming off the edge of it and go up to where I can see down and see what's going on.
Okay. And as you blast off, everyone follows you. If you're trying to go through the water, it is perfect. It is the perfect temperature. It is not too cold. It is not too hot. It is salt water. And really, you notice this immediately. You've known this. You knew what you were getting into. Everyone else, it might have been a bit of a shock. But really, you knew. Salt water was on its way. And so good. Oh, so good. As you all blast out of this little waterfall that's essentially just pouring off of the side of this island. As you make your way up, you can see that looking over this thing, it's about a mile long and about half a mile or so is your guess wide. There looks to be a big lake right in the middle of this island with a couple of different little rivers that all meet up at the end that just go to the edge of this island. And that is where the water is currently pouring off. Directly to the left of this river is a grove of trees. It looks like some very, very long palm trees. Excuse me. Some palm trees and some other smaller tropical big-leafed plants that are just existing down there. Over by the lake itself, there looks to be this very, very, not a sharp mountain, but a pretty gradual mountain that just come up. There looks to be a waterfall that is pouring itself off that makes it into the lake, and the lake is then drifting off to where you are. As you are all floating above this island, you see this whole thing in front of you.
Woohoo.
Woohoo. Where would you like to land? So there's a couple of different places. You can fly in towards the center of the island. You could land on the outskirts of the island. Where would you like to set down?
Do we see any creatures?
Make a perception check. Everybody make a perception check as you just kind of survey the land.
Hey, 21.
All right.
Yeah, perception.
Nice.
22.
All right. So it looks like, yeah, you don't see a lot. There looks to be not a lot of things on this island. However, from above, you do see a couple of striking organisms that aren't particularly that common in the area. From up above, let's see, depending on what you rolled, you'll see different things. Baskin, did you do a perception check?
I did. I got a 21.
Oh, no, sorry. That's who am I missing then? Reverie. Oh, Jinx. Sorry. Nope, I got them all. So everybody can see all of these things. You see a giraffe that is just kind of wandering around the island aimlessly. You see that there is a stork that is currently flying. It perches on a tree, and then it kind of coughs a little bit, and you can see that there's a little burst of fire that comes out of its face, and that catches you all off. Anybody who got over 20, let's see, that is everybody but Baskin, can notice that on one of these trees in the grove, blending in almost exactly with the color of the treetops, is a bright green triceratops that is just perched on top of one of these trees. And it blends in very, very well, but you can very clearly see that in this grove of trees, there's a dinosaur just like hanging out.
Has Jinx ever seen a giraffe or a dinosaur?
No, not particularly. No, neither of these are common animals in the forests of Elassithir.
Have I?
These aren't really common animals in the oceans of Sylvanthi either.
What about my time abroad?
Make a history check. Let's find out.
Not great at history.
Well,
That's a 4. That's the second 4 I've rolled for history in
Whoa.
this session.
you've seen maybe other dinosaurs, but this one is pokey and big. How it gets up in that tree is an interesting question that you have asked yourself, because it does not look like it should be able to. How it is, though, it's up in there. The tree is tall and it is skinny, and there's a triceratops at the top.
It's so big. I wonder if it had pastries like we did.
That's Jinx, I think, is finds the Triceratops interesting, but I think she is hyper focused on the giraffe. It's like, look at the size of that thing's neck. Like, I wonder, like how long would it take for their food to get to their stomach?
If it wears a scarf, does it do it below its chin or at the bottom?
Or does it do like a mummy thing? Just wrap the whole thing up.
Its neck is completely reasonable sized. It is its legs that are entirely too long. What are you talking about?
I mean, they're both kind of long. Comparatively speaking. I'm sure for the giraffe, that's perfectly normal. Or I guess creature is what she'd say instead of giraffe.
Has Baskin seen a dinosaur before? I know he's seen like alligators and things, and those are close, but
You've definitely seen alligators and things. Go ahead and make a history check also to see if you've seen dinosaurs around. It's possible, but we'll see.
an 8.
No. This is a new big thing. It is larger than Capybara lychee, and it has horns sticking out of the top of his face. Ugh. As you are all still floating above this island.
These creatures are not normally found in Sylvanthi. This has to be connected. What do we do? We came up here without a plan.
Yeah, par for the course.
I kind of want to pet the thing with the long neck.
I think we should pet it.
Maybe we should land.
It'd be much easier to pet the neck if we were in the air, though.
It's true.
I mean, we can do both or one after the other, you know.
You think it eats coconuts? I saw some palm trees. Maybe there's coconuts.
Okay, let's get the coconuts first, and then we'll meet the giraffe. The long neck. I guess we don't know what it's called.
Yeah, that's fair. I did use the term. It is a long-necked yellow creature with brownish spots down its 10, 15, 20-foot tall body.
Very long necked dog.
Straight long the legs, and it looks like it has
Right.
muscular bits.
Oh, it's a kirin. Oh, why didn't you just say we were dealing with the very common kirin? I'm
It's a very, very long leopard.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it Jeffrey.
What?
Jinx flies down towards the palm trees.
All right. Are you landing or are you just floating around by its face?
Well, she's going to the palm trees first, looking for coconuts.
Okay. There are a lot of palm trees on this island. So this island is most of the trees are palm trees here, and many of them do have coconuts on them. Yes, so there are some that are close to the long-necked organism. There are some that are closer to the Triceratops. The long-necked organism looks like it is about halfway down the island, just kind of wandering around by the edge of the river, kind of in between the river and the right side of the island. The Triceratops is in between the river and the left side of the island. And I think those are the only main things that you were able to see just there.
Are any of the landmarks on the island familiar to Reverie?
Make a history check.
Oh, that's probably going to be bad. 19.
Nice.
Okay. Reverie. Yeah, actually. You haven't been to this island specifically. This is actually, you recognize it as being the smallest island of the archipelago that is over in the area of Sylvanthi. And even really, I'll be honest, you don't recognize this island. You have no idea what island this is. This is not something that was around even when you were last here. Revelry, you've been around for a little bit though. You've heard tales of an island that has a waterfall, that has a big mountain on it. You have not been to this island. You have heard that there are unique magics about it, potentially. No one quite knows why. You have heard that this island has a name. It is Karash. And there is rumored to be potentially a dragon here.
Oh, great. That's always a good thing.
Does Reverie share with the class?
Haven't been here before, but I have heard people talk about it and describe it. The description does match. So the archipelago in Sylvanthi, the smallest island, and he kind of relays, the whole description, the waterfall and everything, and the strange magic. And I had to fight to not sing that. Is called Karash, and among other things, and like how people on voyages, sailors and stuff, they brag, tell tall tales. But there seems to be a fairly consistent rumor about a dragon. Maybe.
Is
possibly.
that what that thing is in the tree with the horns? Is that a dragon? I've never actually seen a dragon. Is that a dragon?
That's not a dragon. You can see Ruli's face is gone, a bit pale.
No. I really don't think you'd want to pet a dragon. I don't think that'd go well.
They're terrifying.
Well, let's try to go feed and pet Jeffrey with caution then.
Yeah, we should be quiet.
Okay. What are you guys doing? Are you floating down there? Are you flying? You landing? How you want to do this?
Jinx has got this coconut that she is trying to help carry along with the bird. And, it's very heavy, so it's not going very quickly.
Wait, what would you say is a raven's unladen airspeed?
Beat me to it!
Yeah.
Do they
I was gonna make the same joke.
Do they
Yeah.
migrate?
Which type though, huh?
It's the air velocity of an unladen raven.
Technically, coconuts migrate over the waters, but yes.
It's true.
So you are definitely able to obtain a coconut. That is an easy thing to do here. And lugging it is a little bit of a difficult game, but with some help, you are able to bring it to Jeff. Are you dangling? What are you doing with the coconut?
So the question as we approach, because this may affect how I help Jinx with this. All of these creatures seem to have variations on what they are, because the stork was breathing fire and all of that. Is the giraffe an air-breathing water mammal?
From what you can see, the giraffe is just currently standing on the sand.
Okay.
It looks like it's kind of looking out over the air. It's looking like out of the island, away from the general middle. But it is kind of meandering around at this point. It's not really looking at anything in particular as far as you can tell, but it is just kind of standing by itself. And it is the only giraffe on the island.
I'll lean towards Jinx. Maybe you should try talking to it.
Yeah, Jinx will is up by the head, holding this coconut. I was like, "Hi, can you talk? Are you hungry? I have a coconut."
As you fly down, you just putting it in front of its face?
Yeah, we're just sort of the bird and Jinx are both flapping there, straining to hold this coconut up by its head.
This thing definitely takes note of you. And as you fly down towards it, it whips its head around and looks over in your direction as it starts to just walk a little bit closer to you. As it gets a couple of feet away from you. You just floating there?
Yep.
All right. As it swings its face at you and smacks you out of the air with a 14 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah.
I would like to do a thing as it hits me. So I have heart sight, which means if I touch a creature, I can magically know its current emotional state, and if it fails a DC 10 charisma saving throw, I can know the creature's alignment.
Okay. It did fail its DC 10 charisma saving throw.
Okay.
This thing is neutral evil.
Okay.
And it is not happy at the moment.
And
you can see that the face, the emotion that is coming off of this organism's face is a mixture of anger and hunger.
So as Jinx is flying through the air, she's just yelling out, "Jeffrey's not a friend, not a friend!"
And as you start to fly off, it does chase you. Oh, it did hit you for...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure there's some damage involved.
Yeah. 5 bludgeoning damage as you get smashed with a giraffe's skull.
That's not too bad. Okay.
It's not too bad.
Better than that weird wud sound that they make with their necks. So
yeah. Are you trying to hold on to this coconut?
No, she's dropped the coconut.
Yeah, the coconut's gone. That's what I figured.
Jinx is just dropping it. Not a friend, abort mission.
And it's going after. It's following you as you now fly. Are you going up? Are you going down? Where are you going?
It probably, it'll take her a second to get back on her bird and gain altitude again. So probably down first, and then definitely is trying to go very high above this thing.
Okay. As you dive down first, this thing gets pretty close to you, especially because, as you've now realized, it does not need to avoid anything. It is literally running through the trees. As you need to avoid them, it is phasing through these trees, just moving in a direct straight line after you.
Oh, wow.
As you then take to the air. As you can see that it doesn't give a shit. It's moving straight line after you. As you go up, it cranes its neck, and you see it try to make a noise, but it is a noise that is imperceptible to your hearing.
All right. I think I'm going to do while I'm trying to fly away and this thing is phasing through trees. I'll go ahead and cast mirror image.
Okay.
Basically, it just makes duplicates of myself.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
To distract it.
and it is not a smart organism, and you are very, very easily get away as this thing gets distracted, and you can look down at, and it's actively munching at different versions of you flying through the air, getting some of them, missing some other ones. It is not a happy organism. It is mad. And you are away.
All right.
Can we see, does it have sharp teeth, I'm assuming?
Not as far as you can tell, no.
Oh, just a nasty disposition. Okay.
Yep.
Well, learning things, I guess, is part of adventuring. So that's a lesson for all of us. If its neck is longer than its body, we should probably leave it alone.
Or counter proposal, if its neck is as long as its legs, or its legs are longer than its body, also perhaps avoid.
Yes, because that works for dragons too.
It also works for spiders.
That's true.
That's a good point. Yep.
Doesn't work for snakes. Very important. That is the one gap in the advice.
Well,
Or
It can't work
alligators.
for everything.
well, they already have danger in their name. They're danger noodles, so we already know to stay away from those, or at least approach with caution.
It's true. We should come up with these rules.
We should make a guidebook or something.
Yeah.
Reverie kind of gestures to the stork, which has legs and neck. Equivalent
Same
length,
rule.
or roughly.
Yeah, so the stork is still hanging out kind of on the more close to the waterfall area. Is just where that stork is existing. You can still see it. You are all still floating a couple 100 feet above this island, taking a little bit of time because the island is actively still drifting. You are having to actively drift with it, but you are able to keep pace with it, at least for a little bit. You can kind of know that your time is close to being over, though. You can feel that the magic is a little bit draining from you. You've been flying for about 40 minutes or so. You have some time left, but you can feel that it's going away a little bit.
Yeah.
We should probably come up with a plan.
Yeah, you all are gonna have to land soon.
Yeah, preferably nowhere near, and Reverie kind of pauses. Jesk, what's his face? The long neck face through trees. That thing. Nowhere near that thing.
I see what you did there. I approve. Yeah, not a friend. The thing was evil. Like I could, when it hit me, I could actually tell it was literally evil.
Oh well, that's a handy ability to have.
Yeah, usually I like to do it like just to put my hand on something to tell kind of how it's doing and if it's evil or not. But getting smacked with a face, I suppose, works too.
Yeah, are you okay?
It hurt a bit. I'm okay though. It didn't hurt me that much.
Okay. Well, we should probably land before these wear off, and we land anyway, just at a much higher velocity. So
the one with the really long neck is dangerous. Should probably stay away from the one with the horns.
Given that other bird breathed fire, I'm gonna guess that just probably everything on this island is dangerous. Just as a
Yeah.
general rule, assume it's dangerous And then, if we can tell that it's not like if they seem cool, then that's fine.
Ooh, we
Wait,
could land in
is-
the lake.
Is that not the rule everywhere? Everywhere you go, everything is ready to kill you. That's right. That's the normal thing.
I always assume everything's a friend until it's not, except for cats. Cats are always not friends.
There's nothing wrong with cats.
I like cats.
They always try to eat me.
Have you all ever seen the Wampus cat?
What's a wampus cat?
It's an absolute freak. It's a six-legged cat with it is very mean-spirited animal. It's awful, terrible.
That sounds terrifying.
Do not, if you think that animals and the people around you will be friendly, you should not go to a heap. It will be a very good day for someone, but that will not be you.
Good to know.
Oh. Some cats are evil then, but not all of them. Some cats are perfectly fine.
I'm sure they're perfectly fine when they're not trying to eat me, but every cat I've encountered has tried to eat me, so I probably just look like a bird, I guess, or something. Maybe I should try and find like a talk to animals spell or something, because then I can be like, hey, I'm not food. And then maybe they wouldn't try to eat me, and then they'd be cool.
That could be useful.
Yes. Well, landing.
Oh, right! You're in some peril. Right, we should find you a place to land.
Where do you want to go?
Can I try and look for a safe, elevated place to land? Like maybe like on a hill or a mountain, or maybe like a cave or something like that. That might.
Yeah. So there's a couple of different places that you can already see based on your perception check from earlier. There is the mountain. It is not, again, a steep mountain. Is more of a gradual mountain, kind of like what we would see in a volcanic island kind of situation.
Okay.
This island is very, very densely populated. This is very much a tropical island. There's a lot of plants, dense plants, specifically up on the hill, up on the mountain. So it might be, you could definitely get in there and land on the ground. That's totally fine. It is going to be a lot more cover there. You can see that there's a waterfall that looks like it's pouring out from the top of this island, or from kind of like a hole in the mountain that is just pouring out this water of the waterfall. So you could fly in there if you would like to. There is the lake that is down below. There is kind of a clearing that is to the south of this grove of palm trees rather. The grove is where the Triceratops is, but you could land south of that and then like a meadowy clearing. You could even land towards the southern part of the island, past where the mountain is. You haven't really looked over there too much, but it looks like just more tropical trees and things like that. So there's a couple of different places that you could plop down wherever you want.
Jinx is really interested in the waterfall, so she'll suggest that.
Okay.
To the group.
Do you want to land at the opening of this cave of the waterfall, or at the base of the lake by the waterfall?
Oh, the cave is the one that Jinx is most interested in.
Okay. As you all fly down, is everyone landed?
I was gonna say, is everybody on board with that plan?
Yeah. What
So
are we doing?
Splitting up probably
Yeah,
a bad idea.
there's water there.
There is
So
one.
Riley's absolutely on board.
Okay.
How high up is this cave?
This cave looks to be about 80 feet, 90 feet up, maybe even 100 feet waterfall. You can't tell just by where you're looking, but it's not a short drop. It's not the biggest waterfall in the world, but it is an impressive sight, especially for someone who lives on the mountains and hasn't really been in a tropical area very much.
Okay, so if things go wrong, could probably survive a jump from the waterfall cave. Yeah, Dremeland.
How large is the opening of the cave?
The cave itself looks to be about 50 feet wide, maybe not even that long, maybe about 20 feet wide and about 30 feet tall, but it goes back. It's just pitch black as you go all the way down. There looks to be water actively pouring out of it though. So whatever source of the water is inside of the mountain.
Gotcha. Reverie's just looking quietly, mentally measuring, thinking how big of a dragon could hide back in there and fit through here.
Okay. As you all land, I need you all to do a couple of things. Number one, I need you to all make a charisma saving throw. Let's start with that.
Uh-oh.
Charisma saving throw, everybody.
Would this be against a frightened effect?
This is not against a frightened effect. No.
Okay.
Just
Now, if
against-
you are Revelry and Ruli, you can do this at advantage, please.
Okay.
This is a Sylvanthe effect.
Oh, so it's not a charm.
Nice. 23.
Noise.
25.
All right.
11.
Where the hell's...
Well, that's actually going to do it. So you're fine. Okay. So it looks like we got an 11, a 3, a 23, a 25, and a 15. Perfect. I also need all of you to make 2 D100 rolls.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Separately or
Separately, please and thank you.
How
Okay.
can I roll so low on a D100?
Woo! Basket.
How?
Jesus Louises, dude.
99. I'm sure that's something really good or really bad.
All right, me too. 577. Oh, wait. That was really with a 5 and a 77. And then Revelry got a 31 and a 13. Jinx is at a 71 and a 53. And then Dram, you got a 6 and a 15. Holy heck. And then Amira, we will do later. All right. Okay. So as you land, you all fly into this cave, and even without fully landing, even getting within proximity of this area, Baskin, let's start with you. As you fly in, your sense of urgency disappears. You have no desire to do really anything that is of importance at the moment. You are in a place of utter beauty, and it is it's overwhelming. Nothing could possibly go wrong here. This is a good place. And everyone you meet is probably your friend, probably good, probably really cool. You're feeling really chill right now, Bashkin.
Is Jinx rubbing off on you?
Sylvanthe might be. And this is Jinx, you love this. This is exactly what you were talking about too. However, as you all look over, Bashkin, you yourself, you didn't really notice this, but you have grown in size as well. And everyone else, you notice that Baskin is losing his wings and kind of falling over on his side as he transforms into yet another Triceratops that is now taking over part of this cave. As Baskin, you are just constantly observing, and you feel like your eyes are so good you can see currently twice as far as you normally can. And your eyesight is twice as good as it normally is. And you are a Triceratops. Revelry. You, as you land, oh boy, this will be fun. You sit inside of this cave and you get a little bit smaller as you start to shrink a little bit. Now you have complete awareness of exactly where you are and what is going on, but your size and stature are diminishing significantly as you can see that your your body is turning into an otter. You are now a river otter that is sitting inside of this little cave, and you gain the ability to climb through walls, or climb up walls, rather. You are an otter with spider climb. Congratulations. Jinx, you, as you land, you also feel a morph of in yourself. You lose your wings and you become a little bit bigger as you become a jackal that, let's see. Your skin turns a pale shade of blue as well. And you are cold resistant for as long as you currently are a jackal. Ruli, as you land, you lose all semblance of being a water organism as you become a donkey. That specifically is bright white with streaks of green through its fur. As your the green parts of your fur become, and you don't, it's not a negative for you specifically, but they become a little bit more sticky. And you can shoot these actually, and make a little sticky trap out of your body. And you get about 4 of those per short rest. And let's see, Dram, you have turned into a pig. And you, scroll all the way back up here, your body begins to glow with an ethereal light. And you can produce, you are now level 6, as we have all now become level 6 after landing on this island officially. You can produce a couple of different colors of lights. And as we figured that out in a little bit, what they all mean. And as you all land and all transform into these various different organisms with your various different attributes to each of your different bodies, out of the water bursts this incredibly long 40, 50-foot serpent that emerges from the lake, its bright shimmering blue scales glittering off of the sun. There's no longer a cloud in the sky. There is bright, humid heat. And as soon as you land, as soon as you transform, you feel this overwhelming sensation of humidity, of tropical existence. As Bashkin, you are enamored with the realm of Savanthe, as in front of you bursts out an adult dragon. No wings. And that is an interesting thing that Bashkin, you do take note of, that this thing does not have any wings. It is long, it is slender, it has 6 legs to it. It has these very, very long orange, bright orange tendrils that are coming out of the back of its head. And it flies up, looks directly at you and says, "Oh, you're new here. The name's Garvin. Welcome to my island. What can I do for you?" And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
I do want to add one thing.
Yeah, what's up?
So when Jinx looks down to see like this transformation, she's just like, I've been called a bitch before, but this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so we can't do responses to you. You have transformed, by the way. How are you feeling about that? You're different bodies, and there's a dragon in front of your face now.
Ruli has been many different shapes before, so this is kind of, I think she's disappointed, but it's
fair.
Yeah.
I am a strobe light pig.
You are a strobe light pig. Now, for the premise of this, you are all different shapes. You have your same stats, and you have your same, we'll figure out the health in a second, because you have the health of that different organism, but you have your same like intelligence, your same mind. So you have been, for all of intents and purposes, true polymorphed, but you have yourself. You are still you in a different body.
So we do not keep like racial features, like all of my resistances.
Yep.
So backup characters, right?
I'm pretty sure I might be harder to kill now.
That's true, maybe. You did really well in your roles.
I'm still really hard to kill because most of my hard to kill stuff is because of my class, not my ancestry. This is gonna be interesting. But yeah, Jinx's demeanor about all of this is the if you've seen Futurama, where there's an episode where something's happening to the ship and Fry's like, fix it, 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 fix it. That's pretty much where Jinx is right now.
Well, we'll see what happens. As you know, trying to fix this problem, you've landed on this island, polymorphed, and now you have Garvin in front of you, who is very much aware that you are indeed here.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Excuse me. All right. Well, yeah, that'll sounds like that'll wrap it up. So we're all gonna scramble to figure out what we're gonna do over the next week for for next session. But in the meantime, we should do our outros, and then we're gonna go on a raid. So let's do opposite from how we started. We'll start with Andy. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Oh man, what was my favorite part? I really liked how honestly, I really liked Lychee and seeing the whole capybara scene. That was a really cool thing. I'm glad we got to do that. Kind of a doozy for the Kuatoa, but great for Lychee. So that's a win. It's a win in my book, as far as I'm concerned. Where can you see me next? It is going to be, as far as a D&D show goes, or a tabletop game goes, it is going to be right here next Tuesday. As far as other streams go, I'm going to be on tomorrow. We're going to be playing probably either some Pokemon or some Abduction. Not quite sure which one yet, but we didn't play Pokemon yesterday, so honestly, probably that one. Other things that I've been working on. I've been in the process, and I don't want to announce something too soon before it's actually done, but I've been building some other kind of one-on-one modules for one DM and one player, kind of aiming at a younger age group. Still set in our Feywilds that we've been working on, though. So those will maybe be coming out by the end of the season, hopefully. We'll see, maybe the first one. We'll see how that goes. But besides that, going to a couple of different streams this week. Be back here next Tuesday. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on a couple of other places on the internet. Martinez Tweets, Martinez Streams. And that'll do it for me. Who's next?
Awesome. Anna, favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Favorite part has to be the very foundational rule of our new adventurers guide that we are going to create. That if the neck is longer than the body, it's a danger animal. It's a great rule. But yeah, I am Anna, aka archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. If any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun. As far as where to find me, you can find me tomorrow night on Weave the Tale playing Masks. I am playing a Doomed one who already has a bunch of the Doom track marked off. And I believe the sub goal is going to be further marking my Doom track. So if you want to see me explode and just a burst of glory and power, come help me do that before the end of the one shot. Saturday night, you can find me on TPK Roleplay playing Locus, which is a horror TTRPG focusing on kind of dark personal horror and trauma. Very excited for that. I think we're exploring an abandoned convent, I think, because those are never creepy. Yeah, and then of course you can find me on Response Team Omnicron, which is a Lancer actual play podcast playing through the No Room for a Wallflower adventure setting, following a PR team that unexpectedly ends up on the front lines. We are through our first arc, but it's not too many episodes. It's very easy to catch up on, usually 45-minute episodes. So come and check us out. If you like sci-fi war movies, if you like mech battles, roleplay focused characters in sci-fi fields, definitely something worth checking out. You can find us anywhere you normally get your podcast and on Twitter at RT Omnicron. That's all I got.
Awesome. Par, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
My favorite part can be summed up in 3 words: neutral, evil, giraffe. It was it's just great. I loved it. It was so fantastic. You can find me next week for this lovely show with this lovely cast and this lovely adventure that we find ourselves on. As for what I'm up to, nothing at the moment that I can announce, because I've done that before, and I'd rather just do it when it's ready.
All right. Then next we've got M. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
The hat and Weekend at Burning, the Kuato at the beginning of the
I forgot about that.
That was the first thing that popped into my head. It's like, here we are, Weekend at Bindlesticks. I've gotten way too much stupid mileage out of Bindlesticks jokes. But that's the level my humor's at. You can also find me. I will be on Welcome to Madison, Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time. That'll be on the Black Feather Guild YouTube channel. And here again next week. I'm excited to see what happens. River otters actually kind of fitting because they are clever, vicious little, not actually that little, clever, vicious creatures. And you can find me at Timber Noodles on Twitter. I complain a lot and draw digital art, and I'm excited for next week.
Awesome. And again, go check out at X the Transient on Twitter. She's awesome. Hopefully we'll have her back next week for Amira, and we'll find out what I guess Amira has turned into. That'll be fun. And then next we got Zan. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Yeah, I'm Zan. I do TTRPG stuff in cool places with cool people. You can find me here in this regular time slot. You can also find me tomorrow on what I assume will be Kat and Schrodinger's channel doing Her Wintry Hunger. I'm not really sure, but it seems like it's going to happen, and it's going to be a great time if it does. You can also find me other places, other times, doing other things, but I'm not sure what those things are right now, with the exception of you should go and check out the Seed and Spark Super Suits campaign, because it is a podcast that I am delighted to be a cast member of, and we're in our we're doing our crowdfunding at the moment. We're more than halfway there. We're on week 3, and it's a wonderful little show that's making sure that everybody gets paid and everybody's work is valuable, and it's for a great network doing some really cool stuff. So definitely go check that out if it sounds like something you're interested in. And my favorite part today is going to be the little glimpse into Dram's psyche that we got. The terrible, terrible existence that has been Dram's entire time on this game. And then to know that the breaking point was just the sound of Jinx not blinking. It's fitting. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was that like nice little cherry on top to the Dram Sunday. It was very good. Big fan.
Awesome. That was really funny. That just leaves me. Let's see. It's hard to pick a favorite part because it was all really fun. I think the shenanigans around Jeffrey the evil giraffe, really, like the moment where it's just like I'm gonna headbutt you, and getting to be like, not a friend, not a friend. I really actually enjoyed that. I think that might actually be the first time I've been hit this campaign too, which was funny. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I'm also enjoying the mental image of Jinx as like a jackal, but like a teacup, like poodle sized jackal, just running around biting at ankles. She definitely does not want to be a jackal for very long, but I think she will enjoy that while it's there. That's just a really funny mental image, so I'm enjoying that at the moment. Let's see where you can find me next. Today's Tuesday. So it'll be Friday at noon Mountain Time over on YouTube for YouTube Fridays. So the Black Feather Guild YouTube channel, 12 p.m. Mountain Time will be Avatar Before the Ice Melted. We're going to get back into that game after a couple of weeks off for due to illness and then LTUE, which is a really cool con that I was at this last week. And I'm gonna have to remember where we're at on that, but I remember there was a lot of things happening with Fire Nation chasing our players, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. And then back at 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Friday over on YouTube for Welcome to Madison. I'll be producing that show, so you won't actually see me, but I will be there, and you'll hear my voice a couple times. But it's a really, really, fun show. And spooky. So you should definitely come watch that. And then Saturday we'll be right back here on Twitch at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for the next episode of Animus Absentus, which I have also missed due to having conventions and stuff. So I'm really excited to get back into that as well. Other things to share or plug, go check out the Champions, Children and Champions of the Fae supplement for 5th edition. There's a link there in chat for where you can find it on the DM's Guild. It's what we're using for a lot of things in here for ancestries and subclasses and a couple things like that. It's a really, really cool little PDF. I've quite enjoyed reading through it. Jinx, a lot of her ancestry abilities and things are from that. So it's definitely worth checking out. Also, I'm not sure if they're up on YouTube or whatnot yet, but as I mentioned, I was at LTUE, which is Life, the Universe, and Everything Symposium. I was on there on Thursday and Saturday of last week as a panelist, and I know they were recording a lot of the panels. So you might be able to find some of the panels that I did over there. Just search for LTUE on Twitter. You'll probably find them, and be able to keep an eye out for announcements about those. And then I think that's everything for that side of things. So just our sponsors is what's left. Let me get those links into chat. They are Fundamental RPG. It's a simple D20 system. It's not tied to a genre, so you can use it for any style of game that you'd like. On this channel, we've used it for all kinds of things, from high fantasy. Animus is powered by Fundamental RPG. We've done a ghost hunting game. Welcome to Madison runs on it. We've even done a sort of our own knockoff version of Borderlands, a couple of campaigns of that. It's a fun system. Definitely check it out. You can buy it on Amazon if you want the physical books. They look like this. Or if you prefer a PDF, you can grab that at coffee.com/Raven. Also at coffee.com/Raven, you can pick up the Quick Play Guide for free. And that is I believe it's a 16-page PDF. It's pretty short, and you can see the basic mechanics and how it works, and go from levels 1 through 5. It's a 30-level system, so it'll give you a good little preview. And yeah, that's Fundamental RPG. Our other sponsor is Die Hard Dice. They sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. Highly recommend going and checking out their entire site, especially the Dracona Embers Kazan set, which might fit our new dragon friend Garvin pretty well. But they are gorgeous. They are definitely in my top 2. Up there with my other favorite Die Hard dice set. But check these out. If you can see it on the camera, they've got little dragon scales sort of embedded in the surfaces, and they're metal, so they've got a nice pleasant weight to them. They're very satisfying to roll. Definitely my favorite new set that I have. There's a link to those directly in chat. And then if you use the code FUNRPG, all one word with capital letters, you can get 10% off of your entire order. And I think that is everything. So we're going to go on a raid. Speaking of Weave the Tale from earlier, that's who we're going to go raid. Definitely give them a follow if you're not doing so already. It's a really, really awesome channel with a great community over there. And yeah, they do really cool shows. So I think that is everything. So I will see you all on Friday over on our YouTube channel. Bye, everybody.